Yes, I know we're in a different background, and welcome to Robed Ramen Randoms, a series I'm starting when I can't shoot a full Robed Ramen review video. There's a multitude of reasons that I'll be uploading Robed Ramen Randoms, but today the reasons are I'm clearly not in my usual recording space, and because I couldn't find another JFC noodle here. Since I only could find the one JFC noodle, or Japanese-style udon flavor at the store, I can only upload this guy by himself. It wouldn't make sense to do a full Robed Ramen review with only one ramen, so here's a Robed Ramen Random. Without further ado, I'm going to skip the formalities and get straight into the episode. Welcome to an episode of Robed Ramen Randoms. Today I have JFC Japanese-style noodle. These are marked as fresh udon, and everything about this box is throwing me off. I've never heard of JFC. The box has about the diameter of a regular box noodles that are about this tall, but it has the height of regular cup noodles that are much smaller in diameter. So this box feels a lot bigger and weightier than most ramens that I've seen. And there's also a lid on it. I don't know if you can see around through the plastic wrapping, but it has like an actual lid that you take on and off, which you don't see from this shape of ramens. So everything about this is kind of throwing me off, including the shrimp and olives on the front, I think those are. But I'm excited to crack these guys open because, again, it's a ramen I've never had before, and you know I'm always looking to try those. So without further ado, let's move to the kitchen. Welcome to a temporary and exciting and clean new kitchen. I won't be giving you guys a tour, but I'm sure you'll all be very happy to see a microwave that isn't rusty and looks like it came out of the 1960s. But anyways, we have this udon noodle here. I'm going to go ahead and tear off the plastic wrapping and start reading the instructions. So I messed up on a take after I already poured the flakes and put the noodles in, so just pretend you saw me doing that. Can't really take the flakes out and redo that. But if you look in here, you can see the flakes and the noodles are in there. And the first instruction here is a bit of an anomaly in the ramen world. The first instruction is to pour everything in there at once. Normally you put the noodles in and put the flakes and the sauce on after, or some kind of different order. However, here, they all go in at the very start. So now that everything's in there, let's look at the next instruction. Unfortunately, the sink nozzle here isn't extendable, so I can't just reach over and grab it. So I'm going to have to move over here to fill it up with hot water. And just like that, it's been filled to the line, and the next instruction is to put it in the microwave. So the microwave time is 3 minutes with hot water and 6 minutes if you're using cold water, but luckily for me, this water seems pretty hot, so we can just move it in the microwave for 3 minutes. Since we put everything in at the very start, the only reasonable instruction to do after putting it in the microwave is to mix well and serve, so let's do that. These noodles are pretty thick, a lot thicker than most ramens I've seen, and the consistency of the sauce is very watery, but of course that's because it was mixed with water at the very start. And the vegetable flakes aren't... What is that? So inside this, along with the other flakes, there seems to... Okay. The flakes seem to be a healthy mix of vegetables, the usual dried vegetables, and things. With microwave ramen, it's difficult to tell most of the time, but it also appears in here there is a Naruto, not the ninja, the fish cake, the white thing, the white petally thing with pink swirls on it. But this thing seems to be mixed up pretty good, so let's eat. We're gonna have these. Very good texture. I love the texture. Very soft, goes right down. The taste, the flavor, tastes a little bit like watered down soy sauce, because that's probably what it is. Let's have another bite. Let's not have another bite. Now let's have another bite. Again, the texture on these is fantastic. So soft, so easy to eat. But the flavor, I'm not sure about the flavor. I'll get back to you guys. So again, here we are at the halfway point of ramen, and I gotta say, even though the sauce isn't the best, as usual, towards the bottom it gets more condensed and the flavor gets stronger. Of course, that isn't a good thing. I'd prefer the flavor to be evenly distributed throughout it. However, it does taste better at the bottom of the ramen dish, and of course the texture of the noodles has remained unchanged, as soft and as delicious as they were when I first had them. So, as of right now, I'm really enjoying these noodles, and I'll come back to you guys when I'm done with them. So, all that's left in the bowl right now is the chopsticks, the weird water soy sauce mix, and the flakes. So I'm ready to safely move on to the final verdict, but it wouldn't be a ramen review if it weren't for the milk. Here it is, the milk. It's in a different cup this time, but you're just gonna have to trust me when I say that it's definitely milk inside there. So without further ado, let's get to drinking it and move on to the final verdict. Welcome to the final verdict, where we rate the ramen on a multitude of factors, and we hope that people still enjoy this video, even though it's not a full-length RRR, but here we are with the ramen. Now, I really enjoyed this ramen. The standout point was the texture of the noodles. The noodles were perfectly soft, very, very tender. They went right down. I didn't even have to chew most of the time. I love these ramen. The texture, great texture. The sauce, even though it wasn't really a sauce more per se, it just kind of felt like, you know, a mix of soy sauce and water. It felt more water than soy sauce at a lot of points. But as usual, it got more condensed at the bottom, so the bottom half of the ramen tasted better than the top half. And that's not necessarily a good thing, because I'd like the ramen flavor to be spread out more. But it did taste better as I ate more of it, which I guess is the reward for dealing with the top half. However, I'm going to give this ramen a 7 out of 10. I like the ramen. The texture is definitely the best part. Without further ado, I'm going to have to end the episode there. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of RRR Randoms. I'll try to put out more whenever I can't get a full rope ramen review out, as opposed to just not uploading. And unfortunately, there's actually no cats where I'm filming right now, so I won't be able to drop the like and subscribe on them, so I'll just informally end the video here.